To start with what the Senate Majority Leader, Republican Mitch McConnell, said last night. He laid down the gauntlet saying the Senate will not confirm anybody until after the presidential election. Your thoughts?
Well, I think he's making a terrible mistake, and he's certainly ignoring the Constitution, ignoring responsibilities. President Obama is doing the same thing that President Reagan did. At the end of his term, he nominated a Supreme Court justice. The confirmation was in the last year of President Reagan's term. The Democrats controlled the Senate. None of us intend to play politics with something as important as a Supreme Court nomination. And the Democratic-controlled Senate voted 97-0 in favor of President Reagan's nominee in the last year of his presidency. The fact is, when you elect a president, you have to assume if there's Supreme Court vacancies, he is going to make the nomination. And it would be a sheer dereliction of duty for the Senate not to have a hearing, not to have a vote.
But, Senator, I want to ask you about something called the Thurman Rule, which is an informal agreement in the Senate that the party not in the White House blocks all judicial nominees during a presidential campaign season. You subscribe to that when it's the opposite. So why is it different now?
Well, there is no such thing as a Thurman Rule. I used to tease the Republicans about it, but I'll give you an example. The last 2 years of President George W. Bush's term, Democrats were in control of the Senate. By this time, we had confirmed 2 or 3 times as many judges of George Bush's than the Republicans have of President Obama's. They're playing politics the same way they did when they killed about 70 of President Clinton's judges by their pocket veto. The fact of the matter is, a Supreme Court justice, let's have a vote, let's have a debate on it. And the Senate has more recesses scheduled, more holidays scheduled this year than I've ever seen in my time there.
Right, but
go forward, have a debate.
You know, the Republicans are arguing it's not about time spent in Washington. It's about which president gets a chance to nominate the pick. And, you know, I've been covering you in the Senate for a very long time, and I just know from experience, as do you, where you sit on these issues depends on where you stand. And if there were a Republican in the White House, Democrats were in charge of the Senate right now, I bet you'd be arguing to move forward on the Supreme Court nominee. Fair?
No, in fact, I was there when the Democrats were in charge of the Senate. In the last year of President Reagan's term, a member of the Judiciary Committee, and I urged that we go forward with President Reagan's nomination, and we did. So, I mean, I'm pretty clear where I am. Now, Justice Scalia was a friend of mine. We disagreed on a lot of things. I had a lot of respect for him and his family. In fact, his youngest son and our youngest son used to play soccer in grade school on Saturday mornings. Justice Scalia, we'd call him Nino, and I would stand there in our old clothes watching the kids playing and joking back and forth. So, I mean, this has to be a terrible blow to his family. Let's not add to that blow by politicizing this. Let's do exactly for President Obama what Democrats did for President Reagan.
Senator